Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're stepping into the shoes of a mechanical engineer. Imagine, just for a second, you've been handed a pretty wild task. You need to build a powerful lifting machine, but not just any big, clunky machine, one small enough to toss into the trunk of your car, but strong enough to lift that entire car right off the ground. Sounds crazy, right? How do you actually design a system that bridges the gap between our human limits and sheer raw mechanical power? Well, we're going to unpack exactly how that happens by looking closely at the systems and the design of the hydraulic jack.
So, here is our game plan for today. We'll start with the heavy lifting challenge, then meet the core hydraulic components. After that, we'll map out a systems diagram to see exactly how it functions. Then we'll shift into fit-for-purpose design considerations, look at aesthetics and ergonomics, and wrap it all up with engineering the perfect tool.
All right, part 1, the heavy lifting challenge, man versus machine.
Here is the fundamental problem we're dealing with. How can a single person lift a 3-ton car with just one arm? I mean, unless you've been doing some serious one-arm curls at the gym, there is just no way. It is a sheer physical impossibility. Without some sort of mechanical intervention, human muscles just cannot generate the kind of force needed to counteract the massive weight and gravity of a vehicle. We absolutely needed a tool that could take our human weakness and basically transform it into mechanical supremacy.
And that brings us to our brilliant solution, the hydraulic jack. Now, the technical definition is that it's a machine utilizing a closed hydraulic system to lift heavy objects. But the really crucial takeaway here, it's about multiplying an incredibly small input force. The jack doesn't just transfer your energy, it completely amplifies it. You put in a tiny amount of effort, and this closed system does all the heavy lifting for you, literally.
Moving on to Section 2, the core hydraulic components, the cast of characters.
Okay, let's pop the hood and look at the essential puzzle pieces that make this machine tick. First up, you've got the pump, which is the power source hooked up to a lever. Then there's the reservoir. This is essentially the holding tank that patiently stores the hydraulic fluid. Next is the cylinder, and that is the actual chamber where the magic of pressure really happens. Now this next one is absolutely crucial, the one-way valve. Think of it as a tiny, strict gatekeeper that only lets fluid flow in one single direction. And finally, the lifting arm, which gets physically pushed outward by the intense buildup of that fluid pressure. When you connect all these parts together, they form a flawless, perfectly closed loop.
But hold on, before we set this system in motion, we have to talk about safety. When you're dealing with thousands of pounds of pressure, things can go wrong fast. So engineers include this invisible but critical safety feature, built-in safety valves. If the pressure inside the cylinder ever spikes and gets dangerously high, these valves automatically release some of the liquid. It's this elegant, built-in failsafe that stops the entire pressurized system from just bursting apart under the strain. Pretty smart, right?
All right, Section 3, systems diagram, how it works, input, process, output.
Now, to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to use an engineer's best friend, the systems diagram. This strips away all the heavy metal casing and leaves us with a clean, 3-step flow of how this tool actually functions. Step 1 is your input. A person just pushes down on the lever. Simple enough. Step 2 is the process. That lever pumps fluid from the storage reservoir, forces it right through that one-way valve, and traps it inside the cylinder. Because the fluid literally has nowhere else to go, it builds up some incredibly intense pressure. And step 3 is the output. That massive pressure has to escape somehow, so it pushes up against the lifting arm, which rises and effortlessly lifts the heavy car. Input, process, output. It's straightforward, it's linear, and it is remarkably effective.
Of course, what goes up must eventually come down. To reset the system, the genius really lies in its simplicity. The operator simply releases that one-way valve we talked about. The system then actually uses gravity and the massive weight of the car itself to do the work, instantly forcing the trapped hydraulic fluid backwards out of the cylinder and safely routing it right back into the reservoir. Boom, ready for next time.
Section 4, fit for purpose, design considerations.
You know, designing a functional system is really only half the battle. The other half is making sure the final product actually makes sense out in the real world. Engineers are constantly interrogating their own designs with rapid-fire questions to ensure they are what we call fit for purpose. First, what is it actually for? Well, lifting heavy loads, up to 3 tons, with the least possible effort. Okay, next, what should it be made of? It has to be incredibly strong metals. If it wasn't, the casing would literally warp under all that pressure. And finally, the business side. Is it cost-effective? It honestly doesn't matter how brilliant your engineering is if it's too expensive to make. It absolutely must be priced competitively against other tools. Every single design choice is a calculated answer to these strict functional questions.
Moving into Section 5, Aesthetics and Ergonomics, the Human Element. When designing the actual exterior of the jack, engineers are juggling two very distinct concepts. On one side, we have aesthetics. This is entirely about how a tool looks to the eye, the visual appeal, the colors, the forms, the styling. On the other side is ergonomics, and this is all about how the tool physically feels when you use it. It focuses on the science of efficiency, maximizing user safety, and actively reducing any physical discomfort for the person operating it.
Let's look at aesthetics in action first. You've probably noticed that a lot of hydraulic jacks feature these really aggressive, high-contrast colors like bright yellow and black. Now that is not an accident. It's designed to project a sense of rugged reliability, to immediately signal safety and caution in a busy, dangerous workshop, and frankly, to catch your eye when it's sitting on a store shelf. Plus, the neat, compact overall assembly reassures the user that the delicate, complex mechanics inside are well protected and organized.
Now let's see how ergonomics comes into play. Ergonomics essentially anchors abstract engineering ideas to highly relatable physical sensations. Take the long operating pole, for instance. That's purposefully designed to give the user maximum leverage, meaning you need a lot less physical strength to pump it. Or think about the rubber handle. That simple little addition protects your bare hands from cold, hard metal and stops you from slipping. And adding heavy-duty wheels? That's a huge one. It significantly speeds up positioning the heavy jack under a car and completely eliminates the back strain of having to carry it. Every single curve and material is chosen to prioritize the user's body.
And finally, Section 6, Engineering the Perfect Tool, Beyond the Garage.
When you manage to perfect a system that multiplies force so reliably, you unlock some truly incredible capabilities. And that leads us to one of the most dramatic, high-stakes, real-world applications of the exact same hydraulic system we've just been diagramming, the jaws of life.
The true stakes of good engineering are incredibly high. Emergency responders use this remarkably powerful tool, the jaws of life, which operates on the exact same principles of pumps, one-way valves, and fluid pressure to literally pry apart crushed steel and rip open damaged vehicles when someone is trapped. Think about that for a second. The exact same system that lets you effortlessly lift a car in your driveway to change a tire is the system that empowers a firefighter to pull a trapped victim from a wrecked vehicle. It's just a simple force multiplier, but it literally saves lives every single day.
And that wraps up today's explainer. We've seen how really smart engineering takes our flimsy human limitations and solves them with just a little bit of fluid and pressure. But I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder as you go about your day. What other invisible hydraulic systems are quietly holding up our modern world right now? Next time you're out, look closely at the construction sites, the elevators, the heavy machinery. You'll start to see this brilliant engineering absolutely everywhere. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer, and keep learning.